Alright, so I mean, I suppose I'm becoming some sort of like regular vlogger. I've done like 2 or 3 the last 2 days. It's kind of weird for me because I don't really like talking in front of a camera. But I wanted to address a couple of questions that I got on my last video in regards to Jimmy. The first one, you never really hear anything about, how Jimmy felt while he was a member of Wings. So I just wanted to address that. And I've always felt that joining Wings was sort of like a double-edged sword for him, because on one hand you have you're 20 years old, you're an amazing lead guitar player, and Paul McCartney calls you up and is like, hey, join my band. You're gonna be like, heck yeah, because Paul McCartney, ex-Beatle, a musical if I can talk, a musical, there we go, God, third time's the charm. So that brings you fame, fortune, and notoriety. So that's a pretty good thing to put on your musical resume right there, playing with Paul McCartney and being his lead guitarist on top of that. And the downside to that is Paul is a perfectionist, as we all know, and because Wings was his band, that Paul was in total control. And for somebody like Jimmy, who was so innovative and so creative with his guitar playing, he felt sort of restricted in terms of what he could play and what he couldn't play. So that was one of the major reasons that he decided to leave the band in September of 1977 to join the reformed Small Faces. And another thing about being in a band as huge as Wings was, or as huge as they were, you get a lot of hangers on, and you don't really there's so many people who just want you because you're famous and oh, you have a lot of money. So that's an unfortunate thing to happen with huge bands. Fortunately though, Jimmy, he was pretty good at sussing out who was real and who was fake, as he was a pretty loyal guy to his friends and stuff like that. And let's see, London Town, I think Jimmy plays on the majority of the record. The only ones that he doesn't play on, I think, is I'm Carrying, Backwards Traveler, and Cufflink, maybe Name and Address. I'm not 100% sure on that, but the reason that he's not included on any of the album artwork or posters was because he left the band midway through the recording sessions to join the reformed Small Faces, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, and I think the music wasn't really what he wanted to play. The style, like, he wanted to be a heavy guitar player. So on that end, it's kind of an odd choice to join a reformed version of the Small Faces when you want to be a heavy guitar player. But and let's see, Medicine Jar and Wino Junko, what are the stories behind those songs? Because they're both kick-ass songs. Well, contrary to popular belief, and included in the recent reissues of Venus and Mars and Speed of Sound, Jimmy did not write the lyrics to either Medicine Jar or Wino Junko. His bandmate in Stolen Crows, Colin Allen, wrote the lyrics, and then he gave those lyrics to Jimmy, who put music to them. Medicine Jar was about one of Colin's on-again, off-again girlfriends. And no, it wasn't a warning. Like, Jimmy did not write the song as a warning to himself to stay off drugs, blah, 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 blah. I hear that all the time, and it really annoys me, because people think they sound so ironic when they say that, but no, just do your research. It's not that hard. Wino Junko, man, I think Wino Junko is, I have to look in my archive, because I interviewed Colin and he told me the stories behind him. But I think Wino Junko was just, about one of his friends who was sort of like like a junkie. Like that's what they call junkies, like a Wino Junko. So, I'll get back to you on that. And was Jimmy happy being a member of a band, and did he want to be a lead singer? In terms of the lead singer part, no, he didn't really have a particularly strong sort of voice. It was alright, but it definitely wasn't like, lead singer quality. So I think he was happy, just slotting in and being the guitarist for, bands throughout his career. He did front his own band. They were originally called Bent Frame, and then that morphed into the Jimmy McCulloch Band. But he wasn't the lead singer on that. That was his mate Robbie Patterson. So Jimmy just provided backing vocals and lead guitar. So I think that's. Then let me double check. I don't have my glasses on today, but yeah, okay. So that is it for these questions. If you have any more, just leave them in the comments section. I don't know. I suppose I'll make a vlog to answer them. Have a nice day.